Okay, we're Algebra 2, Section 3.4, using the quadratic formula. I hope you guys remember this from Algebra 1. I'm sure you do. So the solutions of the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And here is the quadratic formula. The opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So remember that this part under the square root sign, b squared minus 4ac, is called the discriminant. And we can tell, first of all, what kind of solutions we have just by looking at the discriminant. If the discriminant is greater than 0, it means there's two real solutions. The parabola crosses the x-axis twice. If the discriminant is equal to 0, means there's one real solution, and that means that the vertex of the parabola sits right on the x-axis. And if the discriminant is less than 0, it means no real solutions. Both of your solutions to this function are imaginary numbers, which means that the parabola doesn't ever cross that x-axis. And the handy thing about the quadratic formula is it works for any quadratic equation, always works. So let's look at this example. X squared plus 3x equals 5. The first thing you want to do is set everything up equal to 0 so that you have it in standard form. Identify A, B, and C. In this case, A is 1, B is 3, C is -5. And then we're going to take the quadratic formula and just plug everything in. The opposite of B is -3, plus or minus b squared is 9, minus 4 times AC, which would be -5, all over 2a, which would be 2. And then simplify. This would be -3 plus or minus the square root of 29 over 2. And you can either leave your answer like this, or if you want an approximate answer, then just do that on your calculator. And you'll find that those are the answers. X is -4.19 or 1.19. Let's do some more examples. Okay, here's our next example. 25x squared minus 8x equals 12x minus 4. Again, we need to get this in standard form. So I'm putting everything on the left-hand side, which gives us 25x squared minus 20x plus 4 equals 0. Plug everything in to the quadratic formula. Notice that the discriminant ends up being 0, which means our parabola sits on the x-axis. So the answer is x equals 2/5. Our next example, -x squared plus 4x equals 13. Set everything equal to 0. Plug everything into the quadratic formula. And here you will notice that we're going to end up with a negative discriminant, meaning that we have two complex answers for x. Everything simplifies down to this, and I know that the square root of -36 is 6i. So here's my next simplification. Each one of these can be divided by 2. So there's the exact answer. You can write it either way, doesn't matter. And that's it for 3.4.